Hello all, Alex here, welcome to my channel. So just updates then on what I've been putting on the bench and messing about with in the last week. Spending lots of money on bits and bobs, which I'll show you shortly. Yeah, I've now completed the Hail Caesar epics, I've jumped on my own stuff. So I've been painting a couple of the figures from the Perry's Battle in the Box set, which I got myself a while back. I'm going to take my time on those. So it's not, I've only got a couple that I've managed to do. But yeah, I'm kind of playing around with them and doing the odd experimentation. The actual paint set that I got, that I reviewed on my channel a while back, is brilliant. Though AK Interactive paints are really going well. So and what I'm going to do is, as I said before, I'm going to incorporate this water mill that I made for bolt action, and I'm going to use it now for ACW, which is why it's on the desk here. So I'm just going to play around with it and do a little bit more to it. The resin is taken well, and you can see that I've put the kind of currents in here. I've got to do a bit more work with the water coming off the water mill, but yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. So that will be incorporated on the layout when I get round to doing it. Quite pleased with how the resins come out. Finally, after eating through this polystyrene, but I got the hang of that in the end. Yeah, I'm reasonably happy with that. I'm going to do a little bit more weathering and a little bit more. I don't like the look of that bush and bits and bobs that later on when we build something. I built this about a year ago when I first came into the hobby, and then you think, well, I could have done that better. So that's the plan. So that's the water mill that's going to be part of the layout when I get round to doing it. So and then on to the actual figures that I've been painting. So there he is. He's it took me a while to do this one. I wanted this to be, let's see if I can zoom in without it losing focus. I wanted this to be one of the show pieces for Gary, so I spent quite a bit of time on it. The one thing that I have found, one of my purchases that I really do like, is the scale 75 Elven Gold, because I buy lots of things, I try them out, I don't like them, and I sling them on the shelf and never use them again. But this Elven Gold really is special. Now, it took 2 months to get here, but I don't think I'll ever use another gold again. Absolutely beautiful. It went on lovely. So that's what I'll recommend. So where is it? Where's the bottle? Yeah, so here it is. Elven Gold, scale 75. Brilliant gold that is. So I've done his eye patch there. I did the plumes on his helmet in white because all the Google images refer to it as red, but I didn't want anyone to get mixed up with Scipio or anything, so that's why I went with the white. So it may not be historically accurate, but I'm not sure whether Gary's going to be upset about that. But and then I've done the wolf pelt on the back of his cloak. Yeah, it's probably not showing up the actual highlighting and things like that. And then he's wearing leather is it greaves? The wrist protectors, the forearm protectors. So there's leather forearm protectors on there. And his horse is kind of fairly ornamental with the gold braiding and the plum. So really chuffed with that. So that is all been varnished now. It's been sat on the shelf for a few days. me and the wife are going to pack these really carefully on Wednesday, possibly. Get them in a robust shipper, and then we're going to get them get a quote on shipping them over to America. So he's been waiting patiently for these, and it'd be nice that he gets the whole set. So I'm looking forward to him seeing these in the flesh. And then, so that's the gold. And then I've been painting, like I said, the ACW from the Perry's Battle in the Box. And this is one of the officers, the Confederate officer. I've made a little misstep here. The red sling that's hanging from his belt should be black, the same as his belt, as that red ribbon around his sword. So I will get around to doing that. I like the gold braiding on his sleeves, really like that. Let's see if I can get a bit more light on the subject. There we go. Yeah, really chuffed with him, to be honest. I started this off, and I'll put some images up in a minute of a guide that Chris, what's his name, Hensworth, is it? Anyway, he paints RKX miniatures, and he's probably one of the finest figure painters I've ever seen. Does a lot of bolt action stuff, and he was saying that he primes in a dark brown, and then he goes over the brown once it's dry, obviously. In this, he does a zenithal highlight on this, and then I thought, I'll try it. I'll give it a go. So, but I didn't have any dark brown. I had a black, so I went over it in black, primed it in black. Then I went over the zenithal highlight, which you'll see the images of. And then when it was dry the next day, he uses a speed paint, which is Peachy Flesh. And it's the latest one. It's the 2.0. And then when I put it on his face, on this guy's face, it pulled all the all the white off, and it made a right mess of it. And I nearly threw it in the bin. Anyway, I came back to it the day after, and I persevered, and I put Kislev flesh on it, and then I started doing the layering, the layering like I normally do. But anyway, he's come out quite nice. I really like him. So that's the American Civil War Confederate officer. I will get around to getting this black painted up on the sword, but quite like the little colour of red flashing, just to break it up a little bit. But that's that. And then I thought I'd have another one, and I've got 170 odd figures in that box. But you know what? If it takes me a couple of years to do it, I don't care. So I thought I'd do the Drummer Boy. So just finished this off this morning. It hasn't been matte varnished yet, so it may look a little bit shiny here and there. But like him, quite pleased with how he's turned out. And what I've been doing is I'm following the guide in the Battle of the Box set that they give you. They give you the flags, but on the back of it is the guide. So all I'm doing is the officer, I followed his design, and I'm using what's his name, Rafael Perez Archduke paint set. So the signature set that he's got, I bought that, and I use those paints. But I'm a big fan of AK Interactive anyway, especially third gen stuff, and the other paints I tend to use mostly now are Pro Acryls. But really, so all I've done is simply copied that design, and then as you can see here, I've copied this one. So if I can get away without thinking about what colours to put on, I'd love this hobby even more than I do now. But you can see that I've mimicked exactly what that is, and when I get around to doing all the rest of the Confederates, I'm just going to simply do the same thing. Because if I could stop thinking about what colour, then it makes it a lot quicker for me. So yeah, really chuffed with that. But yeah, anyway, getting back to the drummer. So on the top of the drum, I've made it kind of darker in the centre. Not sure if I like his drumsticks though. I think they're a bit dark. But anyway, reasonably happy with that. Yeah, and then I've put some aging in, and I put some pigments on the bottom to kind of replicate the dust and mud and everything. Gave him some highlights. Yeah, chuffed, pleased with him. He looks nice, and I'll get round to varnishing them up and put them away. And then what have I been buying? Well, loads, to be honest. So you've seen the Lylatx. Don't know whether I'm doing that right. I'm pretty sure that I must be doing something wrong, because that chap Chris Hindmarsh, I think his name is absolutely brilliant. He's fabulous, and if I could paint half as good as him, I'd be over the moon. But he's recommending this, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. If you know what I'm doing wrong, let me know. Maybe it's this stuff. Maybe I've had a bad batch of it. It's really paint stripper and not speed paint, but I don't know. New stuff I bought then. I thought I'd buy a new airbrush. Now I've got, I currently use this one. This one's for, I used, and I'm reasonably happy with it. The Gallery GHAD 39, and I'm not anti it. I've been using this for some time, and it's been doing a good job. Now and again, what does happen though is you get a dry tip, and then you have to pull the tip off, and then, well, hang on, the whole thing's come away then. Yeah, so if you take the tip off, then you have to pull the needle off like that, and this gets clogged up quite a lot, and it's probably the way I'm mixing the paints or thinning the paints probably, but yeah, that's a little bit awkward. So I was speaking to my mate Gary in America, and he said, because I was looking at the Infinity Plus, which is around about 300 quid or whatever it is. He said, "Oh, I'm gonna buy the Harder and Steinbach 2024." And I thought, wow, if it's good enough for him, and Gary knows his stuff. You know, he must have over 10,000 miniatures. A lot of painters paint for him, me included. And I thought, right, I'm every bit of advice he's given me has been bang on. So I thought I'd have a look at this. So this is what I bought. So I bought one. I haven't used it yet, but they're highly rated. And the one thing I do like is quite weighty. So it feels heavier than that Gallery GHAD 39. And I love the design. And what I do like about it, it's got little presets on it. So on here, you just turn it for base or prime, or you can have a free flow, so the trigger comes all the way back. But then you turn it to prime, then it's got a set point, and then you go further, a little bit more of a set point for basing, and then you got a 3, 2, and a 1 setting, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. But it's a thing of beauty, that is. And what I do like about it, looking at the reviews and the YouTube videos, then you don't need to keep pulling the tip off and, you know, possibly damaging the needle in there. Then you can just kind of put a brush in there and clean that off that way. And the other thing I did like is it doesn't screw on, it just pops in. So if you wanted to just pop some paint in there without the actual hopper on it, then that works just as well. But it's a lovely bit of kit. I think I paid about 100 quid for it or something. Yet to use it, but looking forward to having a go at that. But kind of basic. I really only use airbrushes for priming, and for varnishing, and for vehicles. But I don't tend to do a lot of vehicles. I do mostly miniatures, but I do enjoy doing vehicles, which leads me on to the next point. I've got 24 tanks arriving today, apparently. So these are the 12mm figures. These are the 12mm tanks, World War II tanks from Victrix. So I'll put them up on the screen now so you can see what I'm talking about. So there's 6 of each. I'll be having a crack at them. I did want a little bit of time to paint my own bits and bobs. These are for me. I'm kind of obsessed a little bit with ACW at the moment, and I want to do a layout. I want to do all the buildings. I want to do these troops, and I've got 170 to do. So, but I'm starting with the Confederates. I do like the ragtag type army that they had, and all the difficulties with supply chains and that sort of thing. So I'm starting with them first. But yeah, so that's where I'm going with that. And then I bought some more stuff. So Green Stuff World is my go-to for flock. Yeah, so I like their stuff really good. So I've got different types, different shades of flock here, and I do like their tufts. Now these tufts are my favourite. So I do like the colour of them. Really not expensive at all. And then I thought I'd buy some wildflowers because, as you can see, I'm into my flowers, so I like to put them up every now and again. But yeah, so I bought some more of them, and it just brings the bases out, I think. So yeah, that's what I've been spending money on. And there's a load more stuff I've also ordered because my son suggested that I start doing some samurais. When I'm going to get around to doing that, I don't know, because what I've got planned next is to crack on with the tanks, and I've still got the 6mm Napoleonics for Gary and Ireland to do, and I really need to jump on them as well. So I did ask for a couple of weeks off so I can have a go at my own stuff. I'm going to stop my own stuff now. I'm going to jump on the 6mm Napoleonics and get them done so I can send them over to Ireland. And then as soon as the tanks arrive, I'm going to be on those tanks. And then what Gary wants me to do is to get on with the Gauls and the Celts for the allies of the House Caesar Punics. So I'll get onto them, and then eventually get onto the Romans later. So I've got lots to do. I bought this as well. I forgot about it. So usually I just spray my gun into the atmosphere to clean it. I hold that, and then it backfills, and then I'm thinking I've cleaned it, and then I spray out half a hopper into the air. But the wife wouldn't like that if she saw it. So I bought this now, and then I can just spray it directly into air, and it captures any dirty paint water. And yeah, it's quite a weighty thing. So I thought I'd get that as well. Don't think I've got any more updates really. There probably is loads of things, and I'll usually think about that after I finish the video. But that's it for me. What I will do now, before I leave, is I'm going to show you the entire army painted in the shelf unit. So be right back. So there it is. In total, the Carthaginian army completed. The elephants, the skirmishers, the Scutaris, the Phoenicians, the Libyans, the skirmishers. Oh yeah, that's the first lot I've done. So yeah, that's all got to be packed up. Me and the wife are going to do that one day this week. Wrap them all in bubble wrap, stick them in a shipper, and get a quote to ship them away. So that's it. That's taken me about 2 and a bit months, I'd say. So they do look fabulous. I hope he likes them. I do. But there we are. That's it. So if you've enjoyed the content and got this far, well done. If you like what I'm doing, you may feel like giving me a like and a subscribe. Subscribe is free, completely free. I'm getting a few more subscribers now, so yeah, I appreciate all the viewing. So take care, and I'll catch you on the next video.